better way to play player props or daily fantasy sports? Well, look no further than Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the leading over-under daily fantasy game. Why? Because it's so easy to use and win. You can make your picks in under 30 seconds and win up to 10 times your money in one day. Right now, we have a special offer for our viewers and listeners of the 7-Footers podcast. All you have to do is sign up now and use the promo code 7Footer, and Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Yep, that's right. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. So, join the over 150,000 others who found a better way to play and download the Prize Picks app today.
Seven Footers crew, what is happening? Jenna and Jarod here to chat about the conference finals, baby. We are getting closer to somebody being crowned a NBA champion, Jarod. I can smell it. The Larry it's here somewhere. It's close.
Larry's getting close. No, yeah, it's we're getting close, man. We're almost there. Game 5's pivotal game 5 tonight for the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. You know, the Warriors, we'll get to them. They're up 3-1. I mean, they should have closed it out in game 4, but, Yeah.
We'll blame it on the leaky roof at the Mavericks arena there, but we'll get to that. Let's stay in the East and talk about the Celtics and the Heat, because this series is tied 2 apiece, and it is the most unpredictable thing. I mean, between the series only having 4 different leads, I think I saw, and these random blowout games. I mean, not to mention in the East, they are battling a slew of injuries. I mean, the Heat alone have a bunch of players questionable, including PJ Tucker. We have Tyler Hero, and PJ's dealing with that knee. Hero, the groin, and then, of course, Kyle Lowry with the long-term hamstring issues that he's been dealing with. You flip over to the Celtics side. Same thing over there for Marcus Smart, who basically his left or right leg, either one, isn't really working all through there. So, or properly, I should say. So talk to me about this pivotal Game 5 tonight, because, again, you mentioned in our betting segment that the Game 5 winner, usually 90-some% of the time, takes the series, and we have injuries playing a major factor on both sides. Talk to me about this. Series shifts back to Miami for Game 5.
Yeah, Jenna, you hit all the notes on the injury front, right? Look, I mean, this is already it is a physical series, and we knew that coming in, all right? And now on top of that, you got these dudes that are all banged up. I mean, you went through the list. PJ Tucker, Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Max Strus, Kyle Lowry. I mean, everybody. And then let's also remember this, Jenna. At this time of the year, every player is dealing with some kind of something, right? That is only going to get better by them not playing basketball. Well, guess what we're doing now? Playing basketball, right? So this is not going to be helpful for anybody. But as you mentioned, the winner of Game 5 in a tied series at 2 games apiece does tend to win 90-something% of the time. I mean, this is the game, right? Neither team has lost 2 games in a row all postseason, and this is pivotal, man. Like, I keep leaning back on this. The Celtics just have more ways to win and do things. When the Heat's offense isn't clicking, right? The threes aren't falling. Who else can get shots? All right. I know Jimmy can get. Who else on that team can put the ball on the ground and get a basket when we need to get a basket when none of our plays are working? Tyler Hero's already banged up with that groin. Do we see more Victor Oladipo? Is that where it's at? I mean, this is, and on the Celtics side, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, everybody's dealing with some injuries. But again, Tatum and Brown, you have 2 apex predator type wings, or if you don't feel Brown's fully there yet, you have 1.5 apex predator wings, right? I think 2, but it just, that gives you so much more. And then you add in Robert Williams, you add in Grant Williams. I mean, Peyton Pritchard off the bench. I mean, this is a team that just has more ways to win. And, I lean something like that Celtics in 7. Nothing's really taking me off of that at this point.
I hear you. You mentioned Robert Williams. He's also was questionable. They're going to test him out in warm-ups, see what's going on there. But again, I mean, these are 2 teams that are playing. They're pretty banged up at this point.
Well, Jenna, if he doesn't play, Bam Adebayo, I mean, because when he's on the floor, Bam apparently can't do anything. So if Robert Williams doesn't play, huge advantage for Miami tonight.
And, playing with these injuries, you have a team in the Celtics that's incredibly hard on defense to play against. And then you got a team like the Miami Heat who has that play hard mentality. So, again, physical series with this one for sure. I mean, it's unpredictable. That is the word that I have to say. I can't remember. I think I picked Heat in 7. Yeah. So I'm sticking with my Heat.
Yeah, I mean, at 2-2, all that's in play, right? I mean, again, for Miami, the question is for me, Jenna, is can they generate enough offense? Because there are stretches they go. Because again, this is the kind of team that they're playing in Boston that if you don't have a functioning offense that can get plays off, this ain't the defense you want to be going against. And Miami's got to attack early in the shot clock. Because taking the ball out of the basket and trying to go against the Celtics set defense, recipe for disaster. Like, again, you want to get the ball quick up the court, get into action early. That's why the importance of Kyle Lowry. And we saw that in game 3, right? Kyle was able to pass the ball. He's always looking to get the ball ahead. Because what you want to do there is get the Celtics. You want to attack them when they're unsettled, right? When the defense isn't, okay, we know everybody's locked up. And it's something we talk about all the time. The earlier you attack in the shot clock, the higher likelihood you have a chance of scoring. When you don't start your first action till 12 seconds in the shot clock, what are we doing here? And it's going to be some simple high pick and roll at the top. You're against a defense like Boston. That is not a recipe for success. So we'll see if Miami's able to execute things quicker and get into their offense earlier.
Absolutely. We shall see. Let's shift it over to the West because we got to talk about these Mavericks and the Warriors. A lot of us thought, today we would be talking about the Warriors getting some rest before the NBA Finals, but the Mavs avoided a series sweep in Game 5 and took that. What was that score there? 119 to 109. Avoided the series sweep, had a leaky roof. Mark Cuban was furious 1 minute, then he was happy the next. I mean, they stayed alive, but can they stretch this series out to 7? Can they truly do it?
That's asking a lot. That means they're going to have to win 2 more games. I mean, sure, anything is possible. Do I think it's likely? No. I mean, look, here's the situation with the Mavericks. We know they take a lot of threes, and they are a high variant. I mean, the three-point shot, as you know, is a high variance shot. When there are games like Game 4, where the Mavericks shot 20 of, 42 or 20 of 45, something of that nature, it's going to be very hard to beat them because that's 60 points on 45 possessions, right? The math just, it's tough. That's tough math to beat. If in 45 possessions, that means 45 times I touch the ball, I score 60 points. That is a tough thing for a team to overcome. Even a team as talented as the Warriors. So look, can the Mavericks have another hot night from 3? Sure. But that's what they're going to need, Jenna, if they're going to advance this series. They're going to need to have a little stretch here where they're shooting lights out from 3. And not just Luka, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Davis Bertans, Maxi Kleber. All these dudes are going to have to hit threes and hit them at a high clip for this series to extend.
So what exactly, I mean, in your opinion, from watching the game, what exactly went wrong with the Warriors? Why didn't they close this out? What was it? Were they lazy? Were they riding on that, sweep high? What was the deal here?
Well, what's interesting? The Warriors are a team, Jenna, that tends to play with their food a lot, right? After they won Game 3 and they were up 3-0, in the post-game interview on TNT, Stephen Curry was asked by Ali LaForce about Game 4, and he said, going to Game 4, we're playing with house money. And, that type of attitude, right? That was the wrong sort of mindset you had just gone up 3-0. Teams will tell you, and it's not that the Warriors don't have this because they obviously do because they've won championships, but championship teams will tell you, you never want to give the opponent life. When you have an opportunity to step on their necks and give them the kill shot, you got to do that. And the Warriors have this way of letting teams up off the mat. And in this game with Luka Doncic, Game 4, they let them up off the mat, right? They gave them confidence and belief. And again, in a series where Luka Doncic is the best player, oh man, you mess around. He has one of those, as superstars do, one of those Luka games where it's like, well, it don't matter what you did. He just did whatever he wanted. And that now all of a sudden we at 3-2. You see what I'm saying? And now you feeling the pressure because you got to go back to Dallas for game 6. Right. And now it's like, oh man. And this happened in the series prior with the Memphis Grizzlies. Right. The Warriors were up 3-1, got waxed in game 5 by the Grizzlies, right? 3-2. And in game 6, the Grizzlies were up in the second half into the fourth quarter, right? The Warriors eventually pulled ahead late and took that game over. Again, Grizzlies were without Ja Morant, right? If Ja's healthy, who knows? Does that go differently? Now they're talking about a game 7, right? So, the idea of when you are a champion, it is incumbent on you, and every great NBA player of the past will say the same. When the team is on the mat, you got to bury them. Put them out of their misery. Do not end in the series. And so not closing out a game when you can, I don't think it's a big deal because I don't think Dallas can win 3 straight. But, this is a troubling sign because if they're playing a better team in the NBA Finals, like the Boston Celtics, you ain't going to want to fool around with them.
Absolutely not. So going into the pivotal game 5 here for the Western Conference Finals, what are you looking out for? What are you expecting? What do both teams need to pull out a win?
If the Celtics go out for, if the Warriors go for that kill shot early and it's just, Steph and everybody's barraging threes and that avalanche starts to come and they're up 27, they're up 30. And then, does that take the life away from the Dallas Mavericks? But if the game is close, if the Mavericks have a lead into the third and into the fourth, do the Warriors turnover problems start impacting them? If the Mavericks get hot, as I mentioned before, and start hitting threes, what happens there? Look, the Warriors as a team, nothing's going to phase them in that way, right? Because they've been through it all and seen it all, right? And Dallas is a team that they're not battle tested in that way, right? They have limited playoff experience. The only person that has conference finals experience on that team is Jason Kidd, and he's the coach, right? So, I mean, they don't, right? That they're not sort of, I hate to use silly cliches like they're not built for this stage, but they have not gone through the lumps and the warts that the Warriors have, right? They don't have those calluses and those battle scars that like, oh yeah, remember that time we were down 3-1? Oh yeah, remember that time when blah, 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 right? They don't have those. But what they do have, again, is Luka. And as I said, Luka has a Luka game. Well, now we got problems, right? Because now it's 3-2. And Luka said something interesting after the game. He said, hey, we're going to keep believing until it's done, right? That's the same thing they said after the Phoenix series when they were down 2-0. He's like, oh, we're going to believe. When they were down 3-2, facing elimination, game 6, they came back and won that. And then who could have predicted them blowing this Phoenix Suns out in game 7 on the road in Phoenix, right? So anything is possible. Do I think it's likely? No. But if the Warriors keep kind of playing with their food and not doing what they're supposed to do, look out.
I mean, I know this is go time, backs against the wall pretty much for the Mavericks, but would you say that it's a lot on Luka? Would you say this is a lot on him? Kind of like you think of Jokic carrying the Nuggets so far?
I mean, it's a lot for sure. Luka's got broad shoulders, so I think he can carry and handle a lot. But yeah, he's going to need help from his friends, right? I mean, we all need help from our friends if we're trying to do something big, right? So yeah, again, Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock, Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson, Davis Bertans, Spencer Dinwiddie, all these guys I mentioned, Maxi Kleber, Dwight Powell. In the minutes that you are getting in this game, you must find a way, if you're a Dallas Mavericks role player, to make a positive impact on the game, right? Whether it be extending possession of the rebound, boxing out, whatever, all the little things you need to do, stealing extra possessions, giving your team another chance, another opportunity at scoring, limiting the Golden State Warriors to one shot and out, right? Staying disciplined on defense. It's a lot to ask, right? It's a lot, but he will need help from his friends if they're going to ultimately win the series. But can he do a Luka special? Do like a 45, 10-10 night? Sure. Absolutely.
Hey, I mean, it's anyone's game at this point. We're also playing in a ball of injuries on the east side, most of it. So we shall see, Jarod. We shall see. But I know you staying, keeping their pockets lined out here because you are predicting Winners.
Listen, I try to give you guys winners every week. Those of you that watch our betting segment, and every week just about we have 1 week where nothing I deliver hit, but so far every time at least a prop something works out. Now that gets harder because we got less things to choose from. So as we go and we're down to the NBA finals, and that'll be it. It's like, well, who knows? But the reality is, we watch these games. We try to give you guys money. Help you guys win money, excuse me. We mentioned that we are, of course, part of the Props Network, the Prize Picks app. Make sure you guys download that. Use the promo code 7footer, 7FOOTER. They will match your first deposit up to $100. And, try to stay tuned and get some wins. As we continue on, Jenna, we're getting down towards the NBA Finals. So once that's done, we'll have a few more episodes this season. We'll do a draft special. And at the end of the season, we'll go through each team and we'll say, okay, who needs to do what in the offseason, what their problems are. Are they a dumpster fire? Do they need to shout out Sacramento Kings?
The original.
And then, we'll do something around Summer League. And then, we'll take it easy in the summer. We'll chill. We'll let you guys enjoy your summer. And then we'll be back in September in time for training camp. And the season will be here before we know it. But, that's kind of what our schedule is going to be the rest of the way. But we're not quite there yet. Conference finals still going on. And Jenna, sports is the best reality show in TV because it's not scripted. We don't know what can happen. Right? We have no idea. It looks like we're heading towards a Golden State Warriors somebody finals. Right?
Exactly.
But who knows? Who knows what can happen between now and then?
That is it. And you know what's up, Jarod, because we will be here with you guys every single step of the way. So stick with us. Y'all will hear any updates from us on our schedule, like Jarod just laid it out so nicely there. So stick with us. We are almost at the home stretch here, guys.
At 7firstpod on Twitter, at 7firstpodcast on Instagram, at JS Hector, at Jenna Lemoncelli. And until next time, peace.
Spent a couple years out here with these raps, trying to have a plan that we made come true. Applied to some jobs, but I ain't hit back.